The revelation is he set me apart before I did anything. So it is who before I do. But I get to learn how to do life with him. I get to learn to abide. I get to learn that identity precedes activity.
Yeah.
I get to learn this, and he's patient. It's like the idea of Abba, Father, like he's good to me.
Welcome everybody to another episode of Cornerstone Conversations. I am here with
Josh.
the absolutely Pastor Josh Hersey. And then, of course, as always, sitting over there, Mr. Dylan Para, looking great, ready for snow with that jacket on. Of course, it's the 1 week that is hot. We're back up to the 80s this week. I'm like, what? But so glad to have you guys with us. We are in the middle of a series with Church on the Rock right now, Misfit Mindsets. And then we've kind of been talking about it. We've taken a few different roads on some stuff the last couple of episodes. But with this idea of being a disciple of Christ, you're going to be a misfit. You want to give just a quick 30,000-foot view in case someone missed the other episodes of what a misfit would be in the mindset.
Yeah, and apologies if you're like a faithful listener. We kind of went and we just let that conversation go, but it was hopefully it was helpful because it was fun to have it. I think it was helpful to me. I think it was helpful to you.
I got several things out of it.
Dylan is super complimentary.
Yeah, so he's going to tell us it's great every time. It's like he didn't even record. He's like, it was wonderful, guys. Speaking of, we got to start our clock.
So anyway, I know it was actually different than we had planned, but I just hope that it was helpful if you're a rhythmic listener. But we're in this series, we're called the Misfit Mindset. And again, the idea is that we, as followers of Jesus, will not fit in. We are in the world, but not of the world. And there's a part of us that I think we should embrace that, man. Like, be different. Jesus said that the servant is not greater than the master. And in the context he's saying that in, he's basically like, yeah, they're not all that kind to me. And I don't know, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know what to tell you, but if you're following me, you're going to get what I get. And so they, arrested him, tried him, killed him. Now, I'm not saying that's what's happening to us. What I am saying, though, is that he calls us to a life, according to Romans 12:2, that doesn't fit the expectations of culture and what societal pressures tell us to do. As followers of Jesus, we are by definition, our definition, a misfit. We stand out. We're different. And so for us, we want to embrace that and be okay with that. Again, we're not just trying to be weird for the sake of being weird. Right. Weird's not the point.
Right.
But being okay to stand out from culture and society is, in fact, the point, because we want to represent Jesus well.
Yeah. And one of the things in that is abiding, right? So John 15, we've talked about it actually quite a bit this year on the show already. John 15:5, yes, Jesus, this is Jesus talking. I am the vine, you are the branches. Those who remain in me and I in them will produce much fruit. For apart from me, you can do nothing.
Nothing.
Absolutely nothing. So earlier in the series, you talked about, I forget how you put it. Oh, I had it written down right here. Who before? How did y'all?
Who before do?
Who before do? Thank you. Sorry so much. You want to just give a little bit what that looks like?
So the thing in our our world, our norms, what we expect, what you do determines who you are. Meaning, to get the degree, you have to do the X years of study, college, and all that kind of stuff. Before you get the promotion, you have to do the training and all the stuff. But in the kingdom, it's a totally different thing, where Jesus has chosen to select us while we were yet still sinners. Right, yeah. Christ died for us. And then Peter talks about how, I'm going to open it on my computer. I usually never have this thing up here. 1 Peter 2:9. You're a chosen people, you are royal priests, a holy nation, God's own possession, right? And there's a lot in that. But the idea is that we've been chosen by God. Being a royal priest means that we have access to him. So again, I preach about this. You can go hear the sermon if you want. We're holy and set apart for him, and then we've been chosen. I mean, that's a lot of great things. That's it's like, wow, that's awesome. Then the very next words in this verse are this: as a result, you can show others the goodness of God, for he called you out of darkness into his wonderful light. And then it goes on to say that once we had no identity, now we are God's people. Once we receive no mercy, now we get God's mercy. It's a beautiful thing. But the idea is that because we were chosen, set apart, and given access by him, the result is now I go represent him, not the other way around.
Right.
So in the message, the idea of who before do is I become a child of God before he wants me to do anything. And this is true everywhere. I mean, like we've talked about this on the show. In creation, man gets created on day 6, and then we wake up ambitious, and it's the day of rest.
Right.
So it's like, well, what do you want me to do? I want you to be with me. Right. You can go and cultivate and fill the earth and all that stuff on Monday, but whatever. And so the idea, the counterintuitive thinking, the misfit mindset is for us to better understand that God has given us a name and an identity. The result of that is that now I get to live in him. I don't have to earn my right standing with him. Right. I don't have to do penance. I'm not going to church and giving and being a part of a group and serving on a team and all that stuff because I need God's approval. I've been given his approval. Right. Now I do all those things as a result of the adoption into his family, the Bible says.
So one of the things I wrote down here is when someone begins to understand they are chosen and adopted, exactly what you just talked about, what fruit starts to show up over time?
I think, and Trevor humbly listens to me preach, which I think is, I don't know, it's flattering. And so I appreciate it. But did you hear me do the thing where I asked people on the front row, what's my last name?
No, which sermon was that?
So this was who before do.
Admittedly, I listened to week 1.
Okay, fine.
And I am 7 minutes into who before do, and then I ran.
All right, no problem. No problem. So
running around getting you a
Trevor, cake. He doesn't sleep at night.
Yes, I do.
But I don't know how he gets in all that he does. So I do this thing, and I would ask people that I knew the answer, right? So like Sarah Wells, who has brought us baked goods.
Shout out Miss Sarah. Thank you so much.
I asked my mom, I asked my sister, and then I asked my daughter in our 4 services. Like, hey, what's my last name? Hersey. And I'll be like, good job, A+. And then I went on to talk about the fact that I'm a Hersey. And that's my identity. That's all I know. I made jokes about the Hersey way and how, like laziness is our kryptonite and we're known for hard work and all the things. And I really think about the men of our family, I bumped into Uncle Daryl driving in here. And
if you work 12 hours, that's half a day.
Yeah, exactly. I remember my first part-time job. That is a real line that was said.
Correct. Yeah. Like we sit where our grandfather's tractor used to park.
Literally, here is where
it parked. And so all that stuff, I talk a little bit about that. And then I go on to say that what a lot of people may not know is I don't have an ounce of Hersey blood in my veins. None. And there's definitely people like, what?
Right, yeah.
And then I just go on to say, but that is my identity.
Yeah, that's good.
I live in that culture. Well, the only reason that I know anything about the Hersey culture, I've been adopted into this family. And by being adopted, like I wasn't directly adopted, but my dad was.
Right.
So biologically, I am not a Hersey, but by identity, that is who I am. Right. So I'm very comfortable being like, you're a legit blood Hersey.
And it's wild how much we look alike.
It is crazy because I don't think our dads look alike at all.
No, not at all.
So the thing that makes us family is our grandmother.
Yep.
But he is a blood Hersey. I was grafted into this family by adoption of my dad. And so think about this. So this is Romans 8, 15 and 16. So you have not received a spirit that makes you fearful slaves. In other words, you don't have to earn your way up to God. Instead, you received God's spirit when he adopted you as his own children. Now we call him Abba, Father. That word Abba is like a very endearing, it's like daddy. Right. It's probably the best papa, in some context. We now call him Abba Father, for his spirit joins with our spirit to affirm that we are God's children. And so I talked about adoption and having a different understanding of it because of adoption, it became an identity. So I go on to use this analogy of my daughter, our youngest daughter, Katie. Like if you came over you're a little bit different because of how close we are. If someone came over to our house and like they're going to probably knock on the door. Oh, hey, come on in.
I'm not going to just walk in like a weirdo.
I know, but like, I'm just saying, okay.
What's up?
But still, like, you might be the type of person that would be comfortable enough, like if you're thirsty, to just go grab something out of the fridge, for example. But our friendship's different than
right.
Let's just, all right, let's use someone who's coming over, they knock on the door, hey, come on in. And then I told this story, forgive me for those of you rehearing this, that if I'm not the greatest host, I don't offer them a drink, but then they get thirsty. I'm like, oh man, I'm sorry. Hey, what would you like? Whatever. But they're going to ask for it.
Right.
Can you imagine though, if Katie came home from, she works at Longhorn part-time. Can you imagine if she came home and knocked on the door?
This is his daughter.
Youngest daughter.
Yeah.
She just comes home, knocks on the door. What do you do? I don't even know why I got off the couch, And then hey, do you have anything to drink? What do you mean? Like, This is your house.
Right.
That's your refrigerator. This is
Dude,
us.
I do it at my parents' house right now. I just put the code in and just go right in.
And why? Because you know who you are.
Right. Yeah.
That is family. And so what's being described to us is that we've been given this identity that doesn't make us fearful slaves. Like, I hope I don't mess it up. It's giving us an endearment, like an endearing connection to the most powerful king of the universe, that we get to go to him and be like, call him daddy, like an endearing connection, meaning because we're priests and chosen and all the things, like I've given you access to all that I am and all that I have. That I pastor a church and still trying to acquire this misfit mindset. But the more I understand who I am because of him, I operate totally different in my relationship with him.
And I have to remind myself, I did that this week. I filled out this thing for something I felt like the Lord's leading me to do. Haven't heard anything back. And then so I'm like, well, did I do it right? I'm checking my email. And then literally I was like, why don't I just ask God? Like, Lord, I'm 99.9%. I did the application correctly. But if this is not for you to do, I want it to be like, I missed that part of like bringing him in as a good dad.
Sure.
Where like Chasen would come to me, my dad, I'm doing this, or whatever it might be. Like, that's the way I have to kind of think of it. It's like, no, he actually really cares about what's going on in my life.
That's right.
And even something that I'm trying to do for him. And it's like bringing him in as a good father. Like, Lord, if this is, I don't know, that it made me think about that when you were.
For sure. But it changes how you function with him.
Yeah.
When you know who you are. And so I think the misfit like mindset to have, and the revelation is to best understand that I didn't do anything to have right standing with him. He did it.
Right.
Gave me right standing with him. And now the result, like everything now is a response to that. And the enemy, I think, wants to get in our minds and trick us. And we all fall to this manipulation that like, well, I've got to prove it, or I've got to earn it, or God loves me more when. It's like, no, he doesn't. You know what I'm saying? And so that is...
Yeah, 100%. 100%. One of the things I wrote down, and this is a question, what does this abiding that we're talking about actually look like for someone with a full schedule and real responsibilities?
Like us. Yeah, we're pastors, but yeah.
Yeah, that means, I don't want to say it doesn't mean anything, but like, we don't get to just sit back. We're not monks.
That's right.
Yeah,
That's
like
right.
that. I don't know.
Yeah, because and I've said this before, I'm very Martha, if you understand the story of Mary and Martha. I'm very Martha bent.
Right.
I like to do. And I think that I can get it misplaced. Like, God, I hope you're proud. Look at all this work.
Right.
And again, that Hersey culture of like, the joke I said was, if you're a Hersey and you're lazy, we'll probably beat you up and leave you in the ditch. You know what I mean? Like we don't stand for it, right? I mean, you know what I'm talking about because you're a Hersey. Exactly. And so
anybody at Champion knows how I feel about laziness.
Yeah, it's like a real bad.
It is repulsive to me.
Same. Hey, growing up, how many times did you get called lazy though? Like by your dad? Like, stop being lazy.
Oh, I mean,
dude,
it
countless.
was just if Dad was walking around the house doing something and you weren't, you just knew you are softballing yourself up to get your feelings hurt.
Oh, same.
Like I would just walk around, just take off random like screens out the window and just put them back in, just because I wanted to act like I was doing something.
Yeah.
For sure.
I got voluntold for everything. Like, cancel your plans because we're doing this on Saturday. I'm like, what? Yeah, no choice. Didn't matter.
And I'll tell you, as a dad now, love it. Love it.
Like, totally understand.
This morning, I'm walking out. I'm like, these baseboards, like my mom taught, like baseboards have to be clean. You wipe down the baseboards every couple of weeks. They have to be clean.
All right.
I noticed like ours was, so I told Jason, I said, before you do anything when you get home, these baseboards, he's like, upstairs or downstairs? I was like, the fact that you have to ask that. It is all of them, son. So yeah, it's fun as a dad now to be able to just let it.
That's funny. So side note that means nothing, has nothing to do with anything, is we 3 years ago did a renovation like in our house, did it all ourselves and all this kind of stuff. And so shout out Austin Wagner, if you're listening, came in and threw in a bunch of baseboards for me and stuff like that. And bro, they are unfinished. Like they're not caulked.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So the other day, here's the funny thing. I got all ambitious a handful of months ago. I was like, I'm just going to start buying tubes of caulk and then I'm just going to open one and I'm going to run it till it's out and so you one at a time.
Right. Okay.
Eventually, I'm going to get there.
Yeah.
Months ago, I've not opened one until the other day. I was like, you know what? Let's go.
Yeah.
So I go open it up and I just start getting busy.
Right.
And then typical Josh, I opened a second one and I opened a third one and I got to go get some more. But anyway, you would be repulsed by our baseboards.
No, I'm not repulsed. I'm repulsed by laziness for the record.
That's a good thing though. I feel like I have that mindset too. I'm like, I'll just get this done. I get the whole thing.
I was all in it then. I was like, all right, I couldn't. It was when the races were on. We were texting a bit and I was like, I can like watch a long, boring race and
caulk some baseboards.
Why wouldn't I? You know what I mean? Why not? You know what I mean? It's not like I preached 3 times 2 hours
dude,
before.
That's what I was thinking. Like, dude, Sunday, I do one service, and when I get home Sundays, I'm done. So what is in your life, what is something you practically do? You have real responsibilities, real things going on. What is something you do that the listener could practically hear and take that keeps you kind of, for John 15 language, in the vine?
So I hope this helps some people because it's one of the things that I've been doing a lot more. And I sat during our 21 days of prayer and fasting. I sat with John 15 a ton and just sat in it. I kept reading. I guess it would be verses 1 through 17. I just lived there. Like I just kept reading, abide in me. My words abide in you. I just wanted to stay there because I was trying to like set the tone for me this year. So for me, it's a ton about my heart posture before the Lord. So there are times where I will literally pray like, God, help me to abide. This is me trying to abide. Like I'm trying to lean my heart into you. I've also, because I read a book and I've probably talked about it a little bit called Sacred Pathways, and it was a helpful book. And look, man, we're all just wired different. And so some people, when they pray, they want to sit in a chair, light a candle, have soft music play, whatever. Great. If that's you, you should. Others, I'm a little bit more of like, I'm a mover and, and so I actually find myself praying best if I'm walking or driving. I can I don't know why I'm doing something, but I can actually lean in. So because my days look different, some mornings, I wish, by the way, parentheses, I wish I could just do the same routine every single day. I would probably love it. Yeah. I'd probably get bored and have to switch it up every so often, but I don't, my week, it's not that way.
Right.
Okay. Especially with us having Thursday night services. Now it's a new rhythm. So things are just different. So anyway, some mornings I'm up early and I'm in the gym early. And bro, hopefully this helps some of you too. I don't wake up a half hour early and open my Bible with a cup of coffee and worship the Lord beforehand. I roll out of the bed, wipe sleep out of my eyes, and in 12 minutes, I'm actually running. It's like I am last minute sleeping. But then I'll come home on those days, and I already know I'll come home, and I've got a margin of time where I can sit in my chair, I can open my Bible, YouVersion, whatever I might be doing for study. And I love, those are my favorite mornings because I'm slower. Tuesdays, for example, they're very long days for me. They start earlier. We have a prayer service that starts at 7 a.m. I would love to be like you and wake up really early. I would love it. I don't. So, I'm usually up in the 5 o'clock hour. But honestly, my first connection to the Lord really is like at prayer service. But what I'll do on those busier days where it's packed with meetings, whatever it may be, I'm finding pause points like with the Lord. And so it might be a decision of no Spotify driving home or driving from this meeting to the next. Pray.
Yeah.
Pray on, like, it's a choice of exchange, you know what I mean? Or I can also like think a lot of myself and I'm like, but I'm listening to a book. I'm listening to a podcast. By the way, also feeds me.
Right. We're on one.
That's a good point.
Right this second.
But the point is like, I'm trying to abide. So if it is a podcast, God, I'm doing this. I'm trying to abide. So my heart is, I'm kind of reminding myself like, this is me leaning in, and I'm saying to the Lord, help me to abide.
Yeah.
So if I'm missing something, if there's something I need to know or learn, help me to lean in. So I guess for me, it's like every day doesn't look the same. I would love that. But because I know some days are just more things are in them and there's more Martha realities on that day, then I need to be a little bit more intentional to be Mary in moments.
Right.
And then when I know I've got Mary moments, like because I also can be the guy that would be like, well, who'd the Dolphins cut? And I'll be catching up on sports news when that's my time.
Right.
I have to war against that. So I feel like I am saying so many words.
So easy to get distracted, dude.
Oh my goodness.
It's crazy.
I realized in the fast this year how addicted I was of just opening my phone.
Dude,
oh yeah, we talked about that like for no reason. Like, why am I just here? Like,
reason. I get mad at myself when I do it. Now, for whatever reason during that, it just really, because I tried during that of like, okay, I'm going to sit, because I'm very much like you on that of every day is different. Every day looks different. So how I'm going to approach it is different. Where can I get the time in? And there's certain days I know, hey, I am sitting down right here. And that kind of stuff.
What's it look like for you practically? I mean, because you're busy.
So Mondays, man, I feed my soul on Mondays probably more than any other day, because it's also one of the worst days that I battle my depression, oddly. So,
that is a statistical thing for more pastors quit on Mondays than any day of the week.
Yeah, I've heard that.
Yeah,
and I think
that's old data, but I'm pretty sure it's probably true.
Yeah, for me, and because I'm like, we do it all again in 6 days, and I know the prep, the time you put in, the exertion of it, plus everything else during the week to make that happen. And like Champions in a good season right now where we're winning, which is awesome. Like it's way more fun when you're winning than when you're not, but it's still that pressure of like, it's coming up again now with the guy behind bars. Well, now I'm like, I cut that in half, because Mondays I've got to be ready to record. I typically record lunchtime on Wednesdays for God Behind Bars to get it out. And then once it's out, then I'm switching to Sundays mindset. So for like Mondays though, I'm just feeding my soul. So I'll listen to sermons. If I'm listening to your stuff, it's typically on a Monday, listen to books. And then really there's not a lot of, I don't want to say there's not a lot of prayer. It's more of just turning my heart towards the Lord. And like this sounds silly. I trust God enough that he'll put things in my algorithm.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I've ever said that out loud or heard anybody say it out loud.
Yeah.
But like, I think he's a big enough God that he will put certain things in my algorithm on YouTube, typically, that I had 2 of them literally yesterday that I had no plan on watching. I watched one and then it played right into another one. 2, just helped me tremendously in my heart. And then Tuesdays, it starts to switch. I'm getting ready. But at the same time, I drive a lot Tuesdays we live in World Golf, driving into town. So I've got that drive time that I'm praying, that I'm connecting in that. Wednesdays, same thing. I'm already thinking about God Behind Bars. And especially I stay kind of prayed up. I don't know if you do this now, like on Thursdays, because you teach on Thursdays. I'm kind of just like praying throughout the day. Any moment I can, I'm praying in some way for when I teach. And then Thursday it switches to Sunday's coming. all right, Lord, I want to hear. And you've helped me with this. I connect with God a lot when I'm going to preach because I want to preach a word that he is giving.
Yes.
So it's not like, for me, it is the number one faith thing I do every single week is hear from God for the church.
Same.
And you freed me on this of like, well, that's not real study when a pastor does that. You helped me on that so much because there is nothing that I walk more in faith in than, Lord, what is the word for the church this week? And now I'm doing it twice I feel like the old school when they would do Wednesdays.
Yeah.
And Sundays, I'm like, oh, this is what it was like back then.
It's funny you say that because, we talked about in recent episode about being a misfit and like the difference between knowing yourself, like this is just the way I'm wired and it's me, and then getting better. For me, and it sounds like for you, my study for the delivery of God's word is very enriching to me. Like it feeds me.
Yeah, me too.
Very, very much. So I don't write it off. There very well could be. I don't know how, but I'm not trying to say that judgmentally either, because people are just wired differently. There very well could be guys that it's not feeding them because they might feel like it's only like, yeah, but this one goes that way. And I would actually be like, okay, I can kind of get that. So I think for them, if that's not a feeder for them, well, then they should supplement in something that it, but for me, oh my gosh, yes, eventually it's going that way.
Right.
But first, like it is internalizing and coming in to here. And I am personally, I think I said this on the show before, but the Sacred Pathways books, one of the ways that people connect with God, it's called the intellect.
Yeah, I'm so much of that one. 100%.
Just hilarious for me to define myself as an intellect.
I feel the exact same way.
The point though is the more I learn about God, the more I feel connected to God.
100%.
So I love to
pour the knowledge in,
give it to me. I am not trying to like sharpen my tools to like win some religion argument. Right. I'm trying to know the Lord, and it just enriches me. So knowing me, I'm probably going to be more effective in prayer if I'm on the move.
Yeah.
Studying and learning makes me feel very connected to the Lord. So those are the ways that I'm abiding. I'm trying to abide.
Right. And I think too, all right, so the people that are watching and you're not a pastor or a teacher or anything like that. Well, what is something that you always are dealing with? Go pour into that. So let's just say you're leading a team at work or whatever, and you're always dealing with other people's personalities. Well, go to scripture and find things that will help you grow in dealing with people's. I'm just using that as an example, right? Whatever it might be. I think sometimes, again, I'm guilty of this, of like here's the spiritual stuff and then here's real life stuff. And it's like, no, they absolutely can intertwine, and not just for people who speak on a Sunday or a Thursday or whatever. That's right. Find the stuff for you that it intertwines in. Like if you're in the people business or you're in sales or in whatever, all right, God, how can I be salt and light where I stand out? Like if I did sales, which I am terrible at sales, I can't even sell myself something. Like I can't even. Taco Bell. I mean, well, I don't even have to sell that. That's part of my DNA. We were talking about.
Think about it.
But like the rims on the truck.
Here?
Literally. I can't even sell myself on stuff, but people who are in sales, you are in the people business. Yep. And if I'm in your position, I am learning everything I can to be salt and light every time I show up to somebody. Yeah. And that's what I'm pouring in. Does that make sense?
Where you go and everything you do, you're a disciple.
Right. So pour into that in different areas of like, okay, well, this is what scripture says about this. Pour those in. For us, yeah, it's the teaching, it's the preaching. I just think everybody could do this across the board, no matter what you do, quote unquote, correct, for a living. You still are a disciple.
That's right.
And it should be fueling that. And John Mark Comer, I think, has coined it the best way. If you have to be with him to become like him and to do what he did.
100%.
You can't do what he did, become like him, and be with him. It starts with being with him.
That's right. And who before do?
Yeah.
He gave you the right to be his heir, a child of God. And so, I
want Taco Bell. I blame Dylan for that.
That does sound awfully delicious right now. I'm not going to lie.
I mean, I had it for lunch. I don't want to lie.
Was it my fault?
It was the first time, this is God's honest truth, the first time since mid-December, I've had to pay for my Taco Bell because I had that many gift cards.
Oh, I love it.
It was awesome.
So
I'm just saying, I'm out, people.
That's right. It's time to restock him on those Taco Bell gift cards, everybody. That's very funny.
All right.
Since December.
Mid-December, yeah.
Yeah.
Let me ask you
there
a long
like every
run.
day.
And it wasn't even full. I only paid $4 and something of my $15 meal today.
That's
3 soft tacos, mild sauce, Cantina chicken bowl, which I had to get off of for a little while because I had one bad piece of chicken in there because I can't.
Oh no!
I can't do gristle. Like the people that love, what's that one piece of meat where it's like it has all the fat and they eat it? Is it a prime rib? Is that right?
Yeah, you're talking about steak. Is it prime rib? Yeah. Prime rib. Chuck eye has a lot of fat in it. Those are great cuts, in my opinion. Yeah.
Yeah. So people that like love the gristle and stuff like that, what is wrong with you?
Well, in chicken, not into it.
Not in chicken.
In steak, man, 50-50. Give me like
no
fat
way.
and meat. Let's go.
You're
No, I'm a Christian.
Well done, sir. Well done.
Dude, I cannot do fat in any of it. And I had one that just had it had gristle in it, and I had to take about a couple months off of the chicken cantina. But your boy's back.
Yeah, I would have been kind of wigged out.
Now,
and
the fat in the gristle, even in a steak, is different. But
okay.
I can eat any steak. I love red meat. Let's go, man.
I love. All right, last thing, real quick, because we got to wrap this one up. What part of this message felt most freeing to you as you were preparing it? What part of the message felt most freeing to you?
Okay, it's probably how I closed the message. These 2 verses, I'll read them quickly, and I'm going to use my voice to emphasize what stood out to me. Put on your new nature. So we spent all the message talking about the fact that we're new creations in Christ, right? Put on your new nature and be renewed as you learn to know your Creator and become like Him. All right, this is a verse we're using a bunch right now. Do not copy the behavior and the customs of this world, but let God transform you into a new person by changing the way that you think. Again, Misfit mindset. Then you will learn to know God's will for you, which is good and pleasing and perfect. And the idea of the revelation is He set me apart before I did anything. So it is who before I do. But I get to learn how to do life with Him. I get to learn to abide. I get to learn that identity precedes activity.
Yeah.
I get to learn this, and He's patient. It's like the idea of an Abba Father. Like, He's good to me. So He's not, I don't have, I shouldn't apologize for reading scripture, but we have not received a spirit that makes us fearful slaves.
Right.
I don't have to live in fear that He's going to get me or that He's disappointed in me. No. Instead, I've received like His spirit has connected with my spirit, and I get to call Him Abba Father. Totally different thing. So,
but and everything, what I hear you saying is everything is fueled by the identity,
yes,
by who we are in Christ. That's where the activity comes from, for sure. So, I mean, I was saying about Ephesians 2, we're a masterpiece. It talks about we are our identity before we do the good works that He's prepared for us long ago. Ephesians 2:10. So
that's right.
It's great stuff, buddy. Good.
Love it. Yeah, it's great.
Awesome. Hey, until next time, God bless you guys. As always, thank you so much for leaning in and watching. If you've missed any of these messages, go back. They're on their COTR YouTube where you just watch this, or if you go on podcasts with Apple, Spotify, anywhere that you consume content, COTR is there. And until next time, God bless you guys. We'll talk to you soon.